And g'day.
G'day.
How are you? I'm here with Paul Smith.
G'day.
There we go. Who's not Australian, but
I'm not Australian.
He's practicing to be Australian, and he's doing quite well, I think, with the accent.
G'day.
Yeah. There we are. Today we're going to talk about Sex on Saturday, the song, not the thing. There we go. And we're going to spin the record deck as we speak. Here it coming at you.
Spin that record.
Sunday in Berlin and I'm driving back into town, trying to beat the rush, got the vibe and the pedal down. Always on a Monday I'm feeling like a Frankenstein. Feed the big machine, compressor working overtime. On a Tuesday and I want to stick it to the man. I'm trying to toe the line but seems like nothing ever goes to plan. Wednesday at the gym, bumping iron like the meteor kid. Trying to stop from thinking, I'm not thinking about it and I did. She's my favorite girl. Sex on Saturday. CB, yeah. Sex on Saturday. Tell the vicar go away. Sex on Saturday. Hey. Sex on Saturday. We're in a dream. You think it's hilarious. Why can't you see? My state is serious. Tell me, Fraulein, where are your clothes? Think I'm delirious. Thursday I'm up early and I'm finding Friday on my mind. After work I'm drinking and I'm thinking, going to drink myself blind. Stumble into the office, only chaos and confusion I see. It's another messy morning, but it's nothing to what messy can be. Shoot the moon, start the stars, start the car. Counting down the hours to sex on Saturday. Can't be any other day. Sex on Saturday. Making hay, that's the way. Sex on Saturday. Ooh la la, that's okay. Sex on Saturday. Sex on Saturday.
There we are. Sex on Saturday. Thank you for that enormous round of applause. Welcome all. It's nice to see a few different people in there. There's a couple of people I don't know. Digger. I don't know Digger. Have you got a real name, Digger? And are you actually Australian with a name like Digger? It's just
You'd have thought so.
just an observation. Well, you know, it could be a pretend Australian like you, Paul.
Yeah, mate. You like your vision, mate?
So anyone that is new, what we would say is we would love you to subscribe to the YouTube channel, if you will. You don't get any prizes or anything like that for doing that, but if we get enough subscribers, they actually start paying us for playing the music instead of keeping all the money themselves. So that's what we'd like you to do, and it's very easy to do, and we've got this button here that shows how easy it is to do. Hit that, Paul.
Oh.
That was easy.
That was easy, at least on
That
the
was
second
easy.
attempt anyway.
It wasn't that easy, was it, really?
Probably because I was holding it in midair. What actually really does help is if you do use Spotify, just save a couple of our songs, particularly the newer songs, to your Spotify playlist, because that all kind of racks up plays for us. So there we are.
Digger has said...
What's he said?
Yes, I write the OCD song with you or something? The odd song with you. Sorry. Yes, I write the odd song with you.
Well, it's a cryptic clue, isn't it?
It is
But
a bit, isn't
I think we might be
That's
talking.
not fair because he's now given us a question.
Yeah.
That's a dangerous territory, digger.
And do we get a prize?
Yes. And hopefully not a Korgis CD because we've got them all.
We've got them all.
We've got them
Yeah.
all. Have you? Have you got all your Korgis CDs?
Well, I haven't actually because they haven't arrived yet. The CDs were due to arrive today, and due to a clerical cock-up on behalf of the duplication company, who I've asked to invoice me so I can pay, and then yesterday afternoon they go, you haven't paid, we can't send them. So anyway, it's all sorted out. They hopefully will arrive tomorrow morning, and they'll be there in time for the Bath gig. That's what we hope, anyway.
Which is?
The Bath gig is this Saturday the 20th.
Chapel Arts Centre.
Yeah.
In Bath.
And it should be good, because we've been learning new songs, haven't we?
We have.
Yeah. Remember which ones?
Yes, I certainly do.
Yeah. We've been learning...
Shall I say what they are?
You say what they are.
One-way ticket.
Oh, yeah.
Craig, I can't even remember the names. Oh, yes. Cold War.
Good old days.
Good old days of the Cold War.
The Cold War. And how's the whole thing begin? The whole album begin?
With the beginnings.
And
then Mad Huts.
There we are. So
hey!
Not much gets past Paul.
Do I get a prize?
No. You don't. So we haven't got the CDs yet.
So
but we have, because we're doing posters as inserts, we've got the posters. So I don't know, Paul, can you hold that a bit closer up to the camera there so they can see it? You've probably seen an online version of this, and then flip it upside down. You'll see there's loads of cryptic writing with some pictures. And then I've got another one here with more cryptic writing, more pictures, etc. Because we had so much stuff to get on there that we couldn't fit them on one poster. I thought, yeah, piece of cake, fit them on one poster. But most of the people here on this live stream wouldn't be able to read it, because if their eyes are anything like Paul's and mine, then they need slightly bigger print. So this is nice big print. See?
Oh, good.
And the vinyl, when it arrives...
Can you not, I mean, it's technology, and can you not just go...
No, you can't.
It's not working out.
You can't pinch zoom actual paper. Damn it.
Damn it, indeed.
But the vinyl when they arrive will be twice the size of this. So imagine that. But I might try and get all the text on one side of that.
Wow.
We'll see how that goes.
They're quite big, as they are.
Well, yeah, that's
a fair
A3.
Look good in a frame. Look good in a frame.
Well, yeah, that's right.
Excellent in a frame.
Yeah,
Very good.
Yeah, very good. We've got a competition.
Have we?
We have got a competition.
How exciting.
And actually, you don't know this yet, Paul.
No.
But the prize is rather unique. Now, Mauro, if you win the competition, Mauro's in from South America, from Sao Paulo, I believe.
Oh. Hello, Mauro.
If he wins, he can't have this prize. He's going to have a different prize, because it's only going to work for people in the UK or people who might fancy travel across to the UK, like Ingo, maybe, possibly.
No.
Because we've had an invite from the record pressing plant to go up and actually press a couple of our own vinyls.
Whoa.
And so we thought it might be a nice prize to actually invite someone up. Anyway, wins the competition, they can go up and press a vinyl.
Well, that's a good thing to
It's
do.
interesting, isn't it? I've never been to a vinyl pressing plant before.
No.
So
that'd be good.
Yeah, that could be good. So, what do you reckon? Should we ask them should we tell them what the question is?
I think, was it too early yet?
No, I don't think so. I think we might have to
let's
say
go.
this a few times, because it's a slightly cryptic question. And just in case you didn't know, it's almost in honor of Ingo. The song "Sex on Saturday" is about a German, because as we know, most Germans are actually exceptionally organised. Very much what we're not.
Vorsprung durch Technik.
Very good at getting things right in the right place.
Yeah.
And "Sex on Saturday" is about a German guy who's so organised he only has time for sex on Saturday. It's the only time he can fit it into his busy work schedule there. So it's a bit of a laugh, it's a bit of a joke. But anyway, here is the quiz question. I'm going to stick it up on screen. If I can find my mouse. Oh yeah, there it is. There it is. Any day? Oh, it's thinking about it. Well, I don't know why it's thinking about it. It's not that hard to think about. Oh, there we go. Oh, I know what it's done. Yeah. It thinks I want to edit it. Okay, so we're not going to do that. Hang on, 2 seconds. I'm going to open it with something else. Bear with us. It's all going to go right in a second. In fact, I'm going to reset that. And that caused me all sorts of issues. And look, I can't find the bleeding one I want now. Isn't that just typical? We'll try it with photos. See if that works. Okay, so going up on screen, here is the quiz question. At last. There we are. Paul, do you want to read that?
I will. The German who tells us about his plight during sex on Saturday has this down.
Yeah, he has this down.
I'll read it again.
Okay.
The German who tells us about his plight during sex on Saturday has this down.
It's like a cryptic crossword
It is a
clue,
bit of
isn't
a
it?
crossword type thing, isn't it?
Cryptic crossword clue.
Yeah.
I will leave that up there just for another couple of seconds, but do remind us if you get to turn it down, because that is the very sort of thing that we would do. Yeah. Oh, Ian Walters. Hello, Ian. Ian from Wimbledon is there. I've been talking to Ian the last couple of weeks on email. He's talking there about I Just Can't Help It. There was various versions of I Just Can't Help It. Sorry, I'm going to get rid of that screen now. Various versions of Just Can't Help It. And I think, Ian, you might well have sent me this, or someone certainly sent me this about a year and a half ago, the European version of I Just Can't Help It, which had much beefier drums and different backing vocals, I believe, at the beginning or something like that. And it's a song when I first toured with the group, this was in the set, I Just Can't Help It. I think it was from the third album, Sticky George, I might be wrong. But a great song, but we haven't actually ever done it with this band. It's on the radar to do.
We've done a lot of things with this band.
I know. Because I've written out charts for all the keyboard players.
Yes. Well,
it's like when I look in scores, they're this long.
Yeah.
They're this long.
I know, because I've also done drum charts for things.
Yeah.
Because my memory is not what it used to be. What was I saying?
Was it ever?
What was I saying?
Was it ever? It's not what it ever was.
No, not what it ever was, no. So yeah, I've got so many that we've just disposed of.
Yeah.
Left, and I'm thinking, correct, there's actually more we've thrown out than we're actually doing.
Yeah. Well, there was a bit of an off-the-wall
Have to move on,
move.
don't we? We have to move on.
There was an off-the-wall move to do a Korgis day, a big day out with the Korgis, where we actually play 3 or 4 sets, and we put in all of this stuff that we haven't done. It'd take a little bit of rehearsing.
Crikey.
It would take a little bit of rehearsing. But we're thinking of maybe doing like a set just of Stackridge songs, because I reckon we've got enough of them to do. A set of newer material, like maybe a mix of Cartoon World and Ununited Nations. A mix of the classic material, of course. And then maybe, I reckon we could find a 4th set of oddities, really. You know, probably could.
Easily.
Probably could.
Easily.
Yeah. So that'd be it. There we are. So yeah, Ian, I Just Can't Help It. Yeah, we'll try and look out that version of it.
Digger has said, his underpants down. Digger, come on.
Oh.
His underpants.
Well, it's a good try.
I mean,
isn't
it's a good try.
So again, it's
It
a
could
good
have been,
try.
I suppose. It could have been.
Try. Yeah.
But no.
No, but sex on Saturday, I guess it's as good as... I'd say if you're going to guess, it's as good a guess as anything. But what I would say that it doesn't actually... It isn't actually a guess. There is actually a way of finding that out. Anyway, I think, Paul... I think we're going to tell the boys and girls about you and I.
Oh,
where did we first meet?
Oh, I know where we first
Well,
met.
I know when we first met as well.
Funny enough, we were there about 2 weeks ago.
Well, yeah.
My wife and I, as they say, were at the, I don't know what it's called now, the Hilton in Newport, Ladbrokes Hilton or whatever.
Didn't
it
it
was
used to be the Hilton and the Hilton?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. It used to be the...
Used to be the Hilton.
Yes,
yeah.
that's right, yeah. And we went there about a week and a half ago for a drink and got reminded of where we first met, as in Elaine and I, but you were there as well.
Yeah.
And in fact, you got me the gig.
Well, I might have helped.
You
I don't
helped.
think I was.
You helped.
Yeah.
Because I
don't think
auditioned. I auditioned for the band that day, which is not the Korgis. I hasten to
No, this was the John Oliver band and
Yeah,
singers.
Singers, indeed.
And both of us spent a good bit of time with John, didn't we? Did many gigs in many
certainly did.
different places.
And yes, I know that. Well, I can't now tell you the date, but it was actually in 1988.
Was it?
It was, and I've actually got the date
Right.
because I was touring with somebody else at that point,
Yeah.
and on the way to my gig, I called in to do the audition.
Yeah.
And then went off to my gig. I was picked up then in the bus, and off to the other gig.
Yeah.
So I've actually got the date in my diary from that. And I think, I don't know, something like April the 18th. I can't remember now off the top of my head, but yeah, 1988. John
Yeah.
Oliver Band.
Yeah.
I've been working together with well, we've been working together, should I say?
Yeah.
Ever since.
Ever since, really.
Ever since. With one thing or
Interesting,
another.
back in those days, and I think one of the reasons that we actually got on is I seem to remember particularly we were doing Barry Island. We were doing the gig at Barry Island, but we'd often talk about timekeeping, and time in a band, and not everyone in the band was particularly interested. They just play, and they assume they play in time. And people that assume they play in time generally don't. It's only the people that actually zone in on it, go, hang on a minute, is this as good as it can be?
Yeah.
That actually will zone in on really exactly where everything should be.
Yeah.
I mean, the Korgis are pretty hot on that. If there's any timing issues, particularly James will go, is that a bit early? Is that should that move that way?
Yeah.
Is my bass a bit early? Is this, he
Well,
particularly...
I mean, I'm the same when we record something.
Yeah.
As you know, with many a time you've said, no, it's fine.
Yeah.
And I'm going, really? Yes, I could think that could be, and
Yeah.
you might shift something, you might not, because
Yeah.
it's, But yes, that is the key, the time thing. We were pretty much
I think it was
trying to
John
get
Oliver actually said to me, he said, if something's just out of tune, then it's not completely wrong. If something's out of time, it is completely wrong, because it doesn't matter whether it's in tune or not. It's not with the rest of the band.
Yeah.
It's completely wrong.
Yes.
So that was
1988.
That was the first gig we did, and we've then gone on to do lots of other kind of gigs, including like the Music Man thing at the Royal Albert Hall, of which you've been involved in all the recordings
and
of that.
And the Palladium.
Palladium, we did two at the Palladium, didn't we? And one at the Royal Albert Hall.
Gig, yes, indeed.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I've
only did one at the Palladium, actually.
Did you?
Somebody else did the first one. I don't know who. But
Oh yeah. He was actually a good drummer, but the band was put together from various different sources.
Right.
And I think after that, David said, "Why don't you just book the band?"
Yeah.
He said everyone you booked has been great, so why don't you just book the band? So we did no
We've done a
disrespect to
couple
the
of
people
albums
there.
with them as well, haven't we?
We have done a couple of albums with them, and I'm still mixing a third album. I'm still mixing with them at the moment.
We've got some recording to do at some point.
We do, yes, when we can get David Stanley to come up, but he's a little bit busy at the moment. There we are. But one of the other things that we played together, we did some TV shows together, of which some of the guests were Bonnie Tyler, David Soul.
Oh, sadly, just gone.
Dad just gone. And Patrick Moore, even. We backed Patrick
yes.
Moore, didn't we?
We did, Patrick Moore.
Because he was a bit of a thing on the
He
vibes.
was, yes.
Yeah. Anyway, in our show,
Yes.
we actually do a Bonnie Tyler song, and we show
do
a
indeed.
film of us back in Bonnie Tyler. But of course, when you see the show, we're playing live, and you're just seeing the film on the back. I thought it would be
there's
good.
no sound, is there?
I thought it'd be good to actually show the film. So
Oh,
this
yes.
is you and I opening the Welsh Assembly almost single-handedly.
Wow, almost.
Yeah.
Almost.
The Queen came along. There's a few other people. We're same bill as Tom Jones, Shirley Bassey.
Yes,
You know, I think
indeed. Yeah,
we backed Bonnie Tyler,
Well, Bonnie Tyler, Rhea Jones,
Iris Williams,
Peter Carey.
Peter Carey.
Iris
Yes,
Williams.
yes, she was on the same bill. I actually looking at the film last night.
Oh, right,
She
okay.
did. She was beautiful.
I don't remember.
Don't remember that.
Did I do that one?
You were on it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I know I was there with Max Boyce as well, but that was on the other stage.
Ah, right.
But that was a different, but on the same day, yeah. But
So here we go. I haven't got the complete film, but we've got most of it. So
Iris
this
Williams, can't remember that.
Yeah.
I better check these comments here, hadn't I?
Yeah, check what's there. In the meantime, here is Bonnie Tyler up on the screen. Any day.
Rick.
Sorry guys, bit of a problem with Bonnie Tyler. There's not a problem with Bonnie herself, but for some reason my Windows Media Player has all gone a bit bananas. Let's try a different app for it. There we go.
Nothing I can say to be glimpse of the heart. Every now and then I fall apart, and I need you now tonight, and I need you more than ever. If you only hold me tight, we'll be holding on forever. We'll only be making it right, 'cause we'll never be wrong together until the end of the night. Love is like a shadow with me all of the time. I don't know what to do. I'm always in the dark, living in a cloud that can't give it up spot. I really need you tonight. Forever's gonna start tonight. Forever's gonna start. Once upon a time I was falling in love. Now I'm only falling apart. And there's nothing I can do. A total eclipse of the heart. Once upon a time there was light in my life. Now there's only love in the dark. Nothing I can say. A total eclipse of the heart. A total eclipse of the heart. A total eclipse of the heart. Turn around, bright eyes.
Well, they seemed to like it, didn't they?
They seem to. Yes.
I remember doing before we did that. We did Peter Carey's TV show, didn't we?
We did.
Peter Carey Unmasked, was it called?
Yes, Unmasked. Yes.
I think it was, wasn't it?
It was.
And Bonnie was on there, and she did one version of Total Eclipse of the Heart, and at the end of it, she went, "Oh, that was a bit wobbly even for me."
I don't remember that.
Do you remember that?
Yeah. No.
She was on the same show as David Soul, because I think
okay.
you did pretty much all that series, and I did
yes.
maybe 2 or 3 of them.
Yes.
She was on the same as David Soul, and David Soul. They both sat around the table, weren't they? And Owen Money, who was Peter Carey, who was the host.
Well, I've just going to say the Owen Money series we did together as well.
We did with Bonnie as well, didn't we?
And Leo Sayer was on that. We did. We played with him.
Yeah.
And a few other. I can't remember all.
Yeah. So anyway, Peter's is interviewing Bonnie Tyler. And because she's got this broad Swansea accent, and you skewered accent, and I got to the end of it, and Peter said to David, have you got anything you'd like to ask Bonnie? And he said, yeah, I'd just like to know what she said for the last 20 minutes.
I don't remember that either, but that's brilliant.
He didn't understand any of it.
Excellent. I don't remember that, but yeah. Oh, dear.
Classic.
Oh, well, there we are then.
So yeah, that was good fun.
Oh, Angel. It was recorded in Cardiff. It is on the site of what is now called the Welsh Assembly, which was recorded in 1998.
Yeah, if you ever come to Cardiff, there's a whole Cardiff Bay area where you can walk around, and occasionally they set up a big stage there and will do something. Yeah. But yeah, I think it was before they really developed Cardiff Bay.
Yeah, it was.
So
yes.
they had a bit more
as I said,
space
the Welsh
around
Assembly, the Senedd, as it's called, that wasn't built then because the Senedd was built on the site of where we played, pretty much.
Yeah.
So that was where it was anyway. Cardiff Bay.
Yeah, but previous to that, the TV shows were generally done in either BBC studios or HTV studios in Wales. Both of them had a big studio.
Yeah.
And we recorded
And
them
they've both gone.
Both gone.
Both gone. Llandaff has gone.
Simon Times.
Did loads in Llandaff. Yeah. And Culverhouse Cross has gone. And again, did loads in Culverhouse Cross.
Yeah.
Dear. It's all changing. It's all changing.
It's a changing world.
It's a changing world, indeed.
Yes. So there we are.
So hang on, we've had somebody else. There's been a few.
Okay.
So Paul G, his foot down. Did I say that one?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
That's a guess.
Ingo has said his camera. What year? Oh, we've just answered that one. What year was that clip of you and Bonnie Tyler from, and what other famous bands and singers have you played guitar for?
Yeah, well, Paul and I have done a lot of the same things, but some different. I mean, you did Only Men Allowed, didn't you?
I did, yes. You know, but you did, which we also do in the show. Del
Shannon, that's right. Yeah.
Shannon.
Del Shannon, great.
Run away. Yeah.
Great tour of Germany with Del. We did some dates here as well. And he was just brilliant. A real proper rocker. He had a Telecaster, beaten up white Telecaster that he used to thrash like hell. You know, I mean, people saw him as a bit of a crooner, but he wasn't really. He was a kind of proper rock and roll kind of artist.
Right.
Great to work
I've never
with.
seen him as a crooner, Del Shannon.
No, but I mean, some of his, he would do things like crying over you, because he could do all that Roy Orbison.
I was going to
thing.
say that was Roy Orbison, but
yeah,
it's okay. So
he had a hit with it as well.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, so there's a few things. Handyman was his hit. You know, hey girls, gather round.
Was it?
Yeah, it was his hit as well. Because I remember I was playing the James Taylor version in the dressing room, and he came in and he went, "Who's playing my song? Who's playing my song?"
Oh, never. Well,
yeah.
Well, there we are. I've learnt something myself tonight.
So it's good. I did summer with Jane McDonald down in Bournemouth with Joe Pasquale supporting. And I tell you what, Joe Pasquale is one of the few people that I can listen to and laugh. Doesn't matter how many times I hear his show.
I'm exactly the same as you.
It's just he is just so funny.
He is.
He is so funny.
Bradley Walsh calls him Squeaky, doesn't he?
Yeah.
And Perfect name.
He
For
goes, oh, very funny, laughing at someone when they get hurt, isn't it?
and all of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, brilliant. So yeah.
So who else? Al? Who else have you
Do you
played?
know, I kind of lose track of them, really. I think the most famous person I did some work for was Elvis Costello, probably.
Oh, right.
Because Elvis Costello was writing something that he described as a kind of ballet, but it wasn't. It was music. It was instrumental music for orchestra, and the first time he'd done anything like that was before the Juliet Letters and before he was doing string quartets. And he wrote this kind of full orchestral score. And I think he got somebody else to orchestrate it, and he was going out to Italy to do the premiere, and he wanted to hear what it sounded like, what the orchestration sounded like. It was a real tall order because we had this handwritten stuff. These days you wouldn't get handwritten music like that, but this was all handwritten stuff. Wow. And on the score, all the instruments are in different keys and all of that, so you have to make sure it's all right. And it was a bit avant-garde as well. So it's a bit like, is that what he meant? Is that right? Yeah. Or have I got all the transposing wrong?
Sure, yes.
So it was a tough one to do, and it was fraught right at the end. We worked right up until the last minute on it, and then there was a post-strike. And so we sent it the day before. It didn't get to Elvis in Ireland quite in time because of this post-strike, but it did get to London. So his manager flew out from London to Ireland to give him the cassette at that time so he could listen to it on the plane across.
Wow.
So yeah, he's the most famous person I've worked for, but I didn't actually work with him. I didn't sit in a room with him and write songs, although I would love to. Elvis.
Yeah. Hang on, I'll just see if he's on. Nope, sorry. Oh, there we are. Yes, on that clip, by the way, there is a dark-haired drummer. It is me.
Honest it is.
It is.
Honest it is.
I don't even recognise me. It's scary, it really is. Anyway, there we are.
There we are.
Time marches on.
Time marches on. Yeah. So, I mean, I think Paul and I both worked with so many people and we've forgotten half of them.
And the other half we prefer to have forgotten.
Yeah, maybe.
No, I'm joking. It's a good way to work, isn't it?
Yeah. But of course the Korgis top them all. Really?
You just reminded me of something, actually. That I was sitting in bed one morning and we had the radio on. This is a few years ago. In fact, about 8 years ago. And I remember hearing this song on, what was the program? It was Radio 2.
Yeah.
Wogan on Sunday. Yeah. And it was John Owen Jones, I think.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And I remember thinking, oh, who's this? Because I've done a lot of work with a chap called John Owen Jones. And I remember thinking, oh, who's done this then? I hadn't heard this one before. And I thought, oh, it's probably guys up in London, whatever. And then something dawned on me. I thought, I did something with Al for John Owen Jones. And then I rang him up and I said, Al, this John Owen Jones thing, he said, yeah, that's you playing on it. I said, what? So, there's more to this story, but I won't go into it. But anyway, it was slightly embarrassing to listen to something on Radio 2 but not know that you actually played on it.
But that's the nature of it, isn't it? Because you do loads of sessions for me, and often the song is nowhere near finished. Probably John Owen Jones wasn't on it at the time you did it.
Probably not. I wouldn't have known who it was for anyway. Yeah. So, but it was quite funny to listen to it and go, oh, that all sounds pretty good, that.
Yeah. It was actually a great song by Daniel and Laura Curtis.
It was, that's right, yeah.
Songwriting team who did some fantastic stuff with some really high-profile people. And it was a song called Tell Me What Makes a Man. It was a very James Bond thing, like a...
Oh, right. I'll have a listen to that
kind
again.
Of live and let die kind of thing.
Yes. I'll have to listen to that again.
Yeah, great. So, you played on all that album. You played on all that album, so there was.
Was it that
people like Leia Salonga, who was Mulan. She was Princess Mulan. She's one of the American Idol judges, etc.
Right.
Some huge kind of big names that were on those. Samantha Barks, who was in.
Samantha Barks, that was another one.
Who was in the Les Mis the film.
Oh, that's right. She was,
in that.
wasn't she? Yes,
Yeah.
yes. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah,
Cool.
loads of high-profile stuff on
We've
that.
done them all. You know. Ish. Yes.
There we go.
Right, any more?
Quiz question. What I'd say is, somebody's got quite close, but it's not quite right yet. So I'll tell you what we're going to do is we're going to, if I can get my computer to behave today, I am going to
James
try
Henry
and
Bennett
put it
Jones.
back up on the screen. Open. It's going to be bad. Okay, let's do it on there. So I'm going to stick the quiz question back up on the screen. There it is now. The German who tells us about his plight during Sex on Saturday has this down. He has this
The
down.
German.
The German who tells us about his plight during Sex on Saturday has this down. There we are. There we are. Back to us. Sex on Saturday, the song. Ingo actually said to me the other day in a message, he said, do you know, it'd be really interesting to know how a song started, maybe hear an early demo of it, etc., etc. Because we all co-write so much in the band that it's probably impossible to know who did what and how it originated. The song Sex on Saturday, and this always seems to be when I'm on holiday, everyone else goes to sleep at night. And I stay up and go, right, what can I do now? I'm on holiday, so I can do whatever I like. I'm on holiday.
Yes.
And generally I just write songs.
So it's not really a holiday then, is it?
Well, it is a holiday because it's like
Yeah, okay.
it's like actually writing songs for me as well as I don't see writing songs as a job. I see it more as a hobby in a way. It's something I do, and then. Oh, sorry. So somebody's trying to call us on the phone. Don't worry about that. So that'll go away in a little bit.
On the phone?
Yeah, on my phone. Don't worry. It's fine. It's being used as a camera.
Would you like to check the comments out?
Well, let's not say anything yet. Yes.
But no, there's a few-
But I have seen.
there's a few
Yeah, I have
there,
seen.
there's a few
Yeah, I have
there.
seen. There's some interesting stuff going on there. Anyway, back to Sex on Saturday. So I was on holiday in northern Spain. We were near Lisbon. We rented a big kind of cottage. It was a two-story cottage thing. And everyone else had gone to bed, and I just had this idea. It just made me smirk. Sex on Saturday. I thought, oh, that's a great title for a song.
Yes,
What can I do with that? And so I wrote a verse and a chorus for it. And the idea was just to pass it over to somebody else in the band. And this was really in the early days of Ununited Nations. We'd done virtually nothing. It was one of the very first songs that I'd kind of put into the frame for being there. But I always envisaged it as something like Kraftwerk, like the stuff that David Bowie had done in Germany, very synthy kind of,
Yes.
I kind of that sound kind of always appealed to me. And also it had some similarities with the early Korgis stuff, which was very synthy and new wavy. That's what the Korgis were always seen as a new wave band, weren't they?
Yeah.
So I thought, yeah, this is kind of. They were, yeah.
Yes. No, I was just going to say that you say about the Korgis being thought of as a new wave band, but everybody's got to learn sometime is, to me,
It's classic ballad, isn't
it
it?
is a classic ballad. Yes. So the Korgis was quite a sort of broad spectrum of music.
Yeah,
really,
it was. But if you listen to the albums, a lot of the stuff was quite quirky. It was very little
It was all
like
quirky,
Everybody's
yeah.
Got to Learn Sometime.
Sure,
on there.
yeah.
Most of it was a little bit more off the wall.
but if I Had You, again, that's another
things like
ballad.
Cold Tea, you know.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, you know.
Which we used to do.
Young and Russian, you know.
Right, I
It's,
like that.
you know, so there's a whole load of stuff that is kind of
Yes,
off the wall.
yes.
Sticky George, way off the wall.
Right, yeah. The last
So, let's leave
Plimsoll.
it there. Yeah.
That was the-
Oh, well, that was
that was
Stackridge.
Stackridge,
That
yeah.
was Stackridge. So yeah, I started this song and I kind of let it lie a little bit. I think I might have put it up on our group chat and just said, hey, anyone fancy getting involved in this? And it didn't go very much further. Until maybe 3 months later or something like that, and James and I had started to get together to write stuff for the Ununited Nations album. We had no idea how many tracks we would be doing. We had no idea it was going to be 2 albums. We were just writing and to see where all of the dots fell and figure out what we would do with it afterwards. And so he said, what do we need to do? And I went, Sex on Saturday. You haven't written anything. We really need a middle eight for Sex on Saturday. And he came round. I'll tell you what, Paul, can you just pass me that guitar?
I can.
Sorry, oh, I don't know. Let's come back. And so, you know, this Sex on Saturday kind of thing is... And so we'd done all of our Sex on Saturday, and then I went, right, what are we going to do now? And this is always what James does. He just goes and launches into something, and it's like usually something you go, where did that come from? I've no idea. And he just went. And he went something like and we were playing it to the drum track, and I hadn't left quite enough time for it, and all of a sudden the last verse slammed back in, and we all went, oh, that sounded really good, didn't it? And so that's what happened.
Yeah.
Is he just wrote that little thing, and I'm going to play it for you in a second, because I got the early demo right at the point where I'd written a second verse for it. I think I might have written a third verse for it just lyrically, and he just slammed that in. And so it isn't the right lyrics, it's the wrong lyrics for it. It's like what James does, he just sings anything, but they kind of make sense. And you go, oh, that's the right lyrics. And he goes, oh, the rubbish need to be rewritten.
Well, there's a lot of songs in the past have been like that, haven't they? Where the lyric has just been...
He does lots of them. He kind of, yeah. I've got copies of songs with nonsense lyrics and stuff. I mean, Time, the song Time. It's just gonna. I've been doing this, and I've been, and I go. I quite like some of those lyrics. And he goes, no, they're rubbish. They need to be replaced.
Oh well.
There we are. So that's it. So I think that's what we're going to do. I'm going to play this original demo of it. You can chuck that back.
I'll check this back.
Quite enough of my guitar playing, and yeah, we'll see if this is the original demo. We'll leave the camera on us, but I'll turn the mic off just so you can hear the demo. This is what it sounded like before it had its bells and whistles on.
Monday in Berlin and I'm driving back into town, trying to beat the rush, got the vibe and the pedal down. Always on a Monday I'm feeling like a Frankenstein. Feed the big machine, compressor working overtime. They go so slow, does she know? Even now I'm thinking about sex on Saturday. Could be any other day. Sex on Saturday. Making pay, that's the way. Sex on Saturday. Hope you say it's okay. Sex on Saturday. Monday on a Tuesday and I want to stick it to the man. I'm trying to toe the line, it seems like nothing ever goes to plan. Wednesday at the gym, pumping iron like the meteor kid. Trying to stop from thinking, I'm not thinking about it, then I did. She's my favorite girl in the world. All the time I'm dreaming about sex on Saturday. Could be any other day. Sex on Saturday. Making pay, that's the way. Sex on Saturday. Hope you say it's okay. Sex on Saturday.
I got a friend. You say you look at me, and when you say, you know I want to be someone new. I loving you, and you can watching me.
Thursday I'm up early and I'm finding Friday on my mind. After work I'm drinking and I'm thinking, gonna drink myself blind. Stumble into the
office, only chaos and confusion I see. It's another messy morning, but it's nothing to what messy can be. Shoot the moon, stuff the stars, start the car,
Counting down the hours to
sex on Saturday. Can't be any other day. Sex on Saturday. Making pay, that's the way. Sex on Saturday. Helps you say it's okay. Sex on Saturday. 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 So, as you can hear, yes, that's it. We are still on us. I thought we were on there. As you can hear, it isn't that far away, but what's missing is all of the subtleties, etc., and all the lyrics for the middle eight are just James making up anything, and he just makes them up on the spur of the moment. He'll sing it again, and he'll just sing completely different lyrics, but they kind of seem to make sense. It's a good command of vocabulary, really.
Yeah.
And so, after that, we then kind of refined the lyrics on looking at, we can't have the same chorus again and again. We're going to have to do things. So there's James and I looking through all the German phrases, etc. And it's like one of them was ooh la la, and James went, well, we can't do that. It's French. And we look up the German for ooh la la, and we looked it up, and it was ooh la la.
Well, who would have known, eh?
Well, it's international, isn't it?
It is, pretty much.
Yeah, it's international.
Not something the Welsh say, though.
Not much, no. There's probably a Welsh equivalent. I'll leave that with you.
Couldn't possibly say what it is. I'm sure it would be very rude, especially if we're from Merthyr. But anyway, that's a very local thing.
I'm just trying to think of. And so, that was it. That James just wrote that middle thing, and then after that, it really was refining it. Paul, of course, came in. What you heard there was the synth drums, which kind of stayed most of the way. Certainly, the bridges before the chorus, we got rid of them altogether, and we did that boom, down, go boom, boom, go doom, boom, da da, which was much better.
What I love is the fact that you send me these demos, and then when I get into the studio, you say, yeah, but we don't want to do it like that. When I've already written, I've stopped doing it now. I used to write out charts for them. It's pointless. I used to write out little charts to go with the demo. And then when we go in the studio, we don't really want that. We want, right, so what do you want? And we end up going around in circles.
Well, some of the times it's quite similar, isn't it? But it's just like, let's just maybe vary the bass drum pattern. Or something like Mud Huts, which was quite lyrically driven. When we got to verse 2 of that, of course, it's all big machines rolling. You go,
yeah, that's right, yeah.
And then we go into a kind of jazz waltz thing after that. Silently grew and span its web, because it's about describing the lyrics in a way. So. We've got a rough format of what we think it should be like, and then it's like, what else can we bring out of it? What can you make a difference with?
And once we've done it, it just sounds right then.
Yeah.
It's a funny one, that, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, because
it could go a lot of different ways.
You can try all sorts of different things, but you kind of know when it's right.
Yes. You
kind of go, that's the one.
Yeah, well, you know what you want.
Well,
I'm just...
Or do we?
Percussive facilitator, that's all I am, really. Or whatever you want to call it.
I think we kind of have a picture in our heads of what it should be like, and there's a few different things that could work and fit in with that, but you know when one of them's right, where you sit and you go, that fits the picture. It doesn't disturb the rest of it. It doesn't push it in a direction it doesn't want to go in.
It's great when it's done. I love it when it's finished.
But then we work on it right up until the last minute of just tweaking another little thing or another thing or another vocal, or
James
John
will
will come in and go, there's another vocal block I can stick there.
But even James will come in, won't he, and say, I don't like that middle bit.
Yeah.
or whatever, or whichever
Yeah.
way it went, or whatever.
Yeah.
And right, well, what do you think? And yeah, so then it gets sort of pushed around a bit, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Really, and
Yeah.
eventually come to some sort of a decision as to what's going to be played.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Anyway, it's all good fun. And so yeah, everything after
It's
that
good
was
fun.
really just, you know, putting the icing on the cake. I think we could grab Sonar songs up, but I think you've all seen them quite a lot of the time. You get the idea of what's there. There's just a lot of different synths. I mean, maybe actually it might be worth doing that because there's a couple of funny things. I mean, what we could do is maybe just illustrate where the drum machine and the drums are different from each other, how that's working. And also, right at the end, James came along and did a load of drum loops in his house. And sent them through. And went, use what you want and don't what you want, but I quite like this. So that's probably worth just getting up from that point of view. So I'm going to show you the screen where we are, and so.
And meanwhile, I shall have a look at the comments.
Yeah, have a look at the comments. There's a whole load of Del Shannon
Not
stuff
much,
that I'm going to go
that's
back
nothing
to.
much more than I've.
Yeah. So where are we? Up here.
Sound and vision not sync. According to Rick Levering, sound and vision not sync.
Oh, okay. Well, there's probably not much we can do with that. Maybe just look with squinted eyes, and we'll look like we're in sync.
Can you hear us?
Yeah, I think they can hear us. It's probably just not.
And Ian Walters has said maybe David Bowie could have synced the sound and vision.
Perhaps he could have, yeah.
Pretty good,
So
Mr. Walters.
I'm just looking for the fake drums. Analog Love synth. It's got to be around here somewhere. Oh, here's one. Okay, so here's a fake drum kit. Well, somewhere anyway. So that's pretty much what the fake drums did.
Sounds like My Sharona.
It is a bit, yeah.
My Sharona.
So that's what the fake drums did. On the choruses, this is what Paul did over the top. Let's just was.
With a little bit of reverb, it has to be said. Little bit.
Turn the fake ones off. So that actually grooves a lot more than the other kit did. And also, I think when you get to the very end, we went into a much more rock thing with Ride.
Oh,
Ride,
Bell of
yeah,
the Ride.
bells
You do tend to favour the Bell of the Ride.
and that. I do like the Bell of the
You do,
Ride.
especially on the outros and things.
So yeah, this is where it becomes kind of really rock. Last chorus.
Yeah.
Which I quite like that. They turned it into a rock song all of
Yeah,
a sudden at the
yeah.
end, and that coincides with the guitar solo. And then over the top of all of that, James brought in these other loops. Let's turn those solos off and have a listen to these things. There's some of it I've muted, but this is verse 2.
Oh, there's somebody called Elaine Gilmore. She said, I think it's okay now. Yes, fab. Elaine Gilmore. Rings a bell, that name. Hello. Mrs. Gilmore.
Oh yeah, there's a few things. What is it? What am I looking for here? The middle 8. Oh, maybe not. Might be this one.
These are James loops.
Yeah. These are all in the track.
Wow. That's mad.
I know. So that last thing, if you put the drums back in with it, you kind of get where it is then.
we've got any more in there. Well,
So there we are.
that's mad.
We're going to come back down off there. That was that was it. That was a bit wild.
That's a bit bonkers. Wow.
Yeah. Good fun though.
Yeah. Great.
And yeah, I think that's about it. Really, that's
Oh, well.
that's Sex on Saturday. That's how it went.
Yeah,
There's
very
obviously
good.
all the normal vocal blocks. There's a million synths. There's a load of different guitars just doing little bits and pieces. And there we are. Okay.
So, do you want to do the? It's just gone 5 to 7. Do we do the answer now.
The competition. Shall we look at this competition again?
Well.
Okay. I'm going to stick it up on screen, and assuming that I can get it to work. Oops. Can't find the right button. Open with. There we go. There it goes. So back up on the screen. The German who tells us about his plight during Sex on Saturday has this down. Yeah. And so I think if I just say the lyrics, the very beginning of the song, it goes through the days of the week, and it starts with Sunday in Berlin, and I'm driving back into town, trying to beat the rush, got the vibe and the pedal down. So that's what he has down. He's got the vibe and the pedal. So someone had got the pedal. I don't think anyone had got the vibe.
Well, yes,
until
sorry, go on.
until Rick Lovering
Correct.
came along with vibe and the pedal, and
The
that is a
vibe
correct
and the
answer.
pedal down.
The vibe and the pedal down. So Rick, you are our winner.
Aren't you clever?
There we go. So yeah, if you would like to be, if you would like that day out or afternoon out in a record pressing plant, and we'll go and press a record together, yeah, let us know. If not, we'll find you something else. Nobody goes away empty-handed on
No,
you.
indeed.
No, not even Paul, who's already had a fake Twix, haven't you? Is it fake Twix? Fake Kit Kat?
No, I
Fake
didn't.
Twix?
No, I didn't. The wife's
Oh, you
watching.
oh, sorry, the wife's watching. No.
Oh.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't. He had nothing. No, strict diet. Yeah. Yeah. Well done, Rick. Fantastic. Before we go on, let's maybe just go back to some of the Del Shannon stuff. Yes, Stranger in Town. Hats off to Larry, Handyman. He did all of those songs. He
Who
was
wrote
also.
Handyman?
He didn't.
No, I didn't think
He
he
didn't.
did.
It was one of the classic, well, one of the classic writers, but it was someone who had other hits with the other one, I think.
Yeah, okay.
And at the time, he was working with Tom Petty. He just done an album with Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, or he's in the middle of it, because he was talking about the drummer. Who was the drummer? Was it Stan?
Stan Lynch.
Yeah, from Tom Petty's band. He went, he was an animal. He's amazing, this drummer. We did a track called Liar for sure. I think we did one other song from that album as well, but there's a great track called Liar that we did. So yeah, all of those songs that we were doing with Del at the time. And he was one of my favourite people to work with. I really liked him as a person. He was a really honest guy. Very straight up about his own issues and stuff like that, but very clued up musically as well, which I think is always a thing for me. If someone is a good musician, got good ears, they know what's going on. And the story I tell live is that he would tell everyone at the end of the gig what they needed to brush up on in the nicest possible way, and he'd just say, "Oh, at the end of that, remember it's 3 choruses across there. Just it's a G chord, not an A." He clocked everything that everyone would do.
Yes.
But always told people in the nicest possible way. And we all wanted to do the best job we could.
Again, I think that's the difference as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because I think we've both been in circumstances, situations, whatever, whereby somebody is not the most tactful, diplomatic.
Yeah.
You
get a few hitlers. Don't you? You get a few people who
Yes.
who love the power
Yes.
of telling people what to do.
Yeah.
And yeah, everyone has their own styles. I mean, it's difficult. I think if you're running a big band, you know, you run orchestras and stuff like that. There's a kind of gang mentality that can happen on the other side. That if you're not on top of it and you don't have any authority, then they will walk all over you.
Absolutely.
You know,
Yes,
so
definitely.
it isn't the easiest tightrope to walk. So from that point of view, I've got respect for people who can, who have the authority and the charisma to pull it off and still stay nice.
Yes.
But I think probably most of the biggest conductors in the world, you think of Leonard Bernstein and all those people who were kind of, you know, they would show their frustrations if people weren't getting it right. They'd kind of really just go, oh, really? Come on.
Yeah.
You know, can you not do better?
Talking of which, you were on it, I think, weren't you? Yeah, of course you were. Bernstein's Mass. That
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I don't know why I've brought that up, actually.
It was,
Dear.
okay, so for people that don't know, Leonard Bernstein wrote a mass. Now, people jokingly called it Mass the Musical because it was a bit, you know, Bernstein being Bernstein, he had a couple of rock bands in there, but it was a full orchestra thing.
A 100-piece orchestra, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was, yeah, National Orchestra Wales and 2 rock bands as well, plus, what, how many people in the choir? 200 or something?
200.
Yeah, something like that. It's a huge band.
We did it live on Radio.
We did it live on Radio 2, and the Piece of Resistance one, it started with just guitar and voice. So just me and the voice to begin with. So that it could have been a scary moment, but I think by the time I got to the gig, I'd lost my nerves. I thought, no, I can do this. I'm on top of it. I know what I'm doing with it. And so I was all right with it. And
I'd like to be able to say the same.
I thoroughly enjoyed the gig, but I know not everybody else did.
Yes.
And I
Did I enjoy it? It was such a stressful day. Week, actually.
it was a stressful week.
It was a week's
Yeah.
rehearsal.
Yeah.
And then live on Radio 3.
Yeah.
That doesn't get any scarier for me. It's just, it can never peak to that with anything ever again. It can never get to there. That is as bad as it gets. Wow. That was so stressful.
I know one member of the band wanted to put a dep in on the day before the gig.
That's
And
right.
now that dep wouldn't have had any of the rehearsals, wouldn't have stood a hope in hell of getting it
Not
right.
a chance. Not a chance.
I know
Yeah.
somebody else was popping
Because-
Palmers before they went on.
Yeah. But back to what you were saying as well at the beginning of this, the reason that the person wanted to put a dep in was because the conductor had really sort of gone to town on the Friday,
Yeah.
and she didn't know whether she could cope with it all, with the pressure.
Yeah.
So that's, again, back to the...
Yeah.
And I remember saying to, it was Eric Stern, Isaac Stern's son, and I remember saying to him that there's one particular part that we were struggling with, me and a piano player, and I was hoping he would have said, oh, don't worry, you'll get it now. But he didn't. He said, well, get it right.
Yeah.
And it was a real sort of short, just get it right.
Yeah, that was. I mean,
Okay.
he was a lovely bloke, Eric, wasn't he?
Oh, he was, absolutely.
But,
Yeah, smashing.
But he didn't necessarily make it easy for you to feel comfortable.
No.
I remember going in on the. It might have been second day of rehearsal or third day of rehearsal, and there was a bit of a guitar thing. And any non-orchestral players will tell you about their frustration of working with classical conductors who go dun dun dun, and you go, where? And isn't the beat meant to be on the down?
Yeah,
And so
that's
we're
me.
all there left guessing where the beat is. I remember one particular point where he would go blung to me, and I'm supposed to go blung, and I thought, okay, I think I'm supposed to be on the upbeat. So he
Yeah.
went. A dong, I went like that, and he went, that's the last time you can do that. He
Oh,
said, you
I
know,
remember.
You remember that?
him
Yeah.
saying it.
Yeah.
I remember him saying it.
And at that point, I was
can,
quite
yes,
confident,
I can
and then
remember him
all
saying
of a
that.
sudden, my confidence was gone. So, you know,
Yes.
for me, he didn't quite handle it in the right way. He could have made everyone feel a little
Cool,
bit
yeah,
more
yeah,
at
there
ease.
was- yes.
And I might have done a more comfortable job.
Yeah, sure, yes, of course, yeah. Anyway, there we are.
But that was
It was a scary week anyway.
it was a scary week. Yeah. Anything else there before we wrap up? I think we're kind of quite close, really.
I'm just looking to. Rick Lovering said,
Yeah.
"See you on Saturday."
Oh, good. Yeah. Of course, you and
Not
Steve
for
are coming.
sex, Rick. No. See you on Saturday for my photo in brackets and to
Yes.
discuss possible trip.
Yes. Sure. Yeah, let's do that. And yes, it is your photo because Rick actually won. Was it last week or the week before? I think it was last week. You're on a roll, Rick. Tell ya.
And it was Ian Walters. And did you hear or even play guitar on the 1991 Walk Away, which was produced by Jeff Lynne, my favourite songwriter?
No, I didn't. Jeff Lynne and Del Shannon were great friends, and they used to hang together all the time. No, I was never involved. I only ever did some European dates with him. He would always come across to Britain and pick up a band, and I was just lucky enough to be in the circle of the band that he was picking up at the time. So yeah, it was just a stroke of luck. But no, I was never involved in any of his recordings, though I would have loved to have been.
Yeah, sure, of course, yeah.
And I was a bass player in his band at the time as well. I wasn't even the guitar player. I was the bass player.
Okay.
Because he played guitar, and there was another guy in the band who played guitar.
Right,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
So there.
there we are.
There we are.
then.
There we are. Okay,
Well.
so I think we are going to leave you for this week. We're going to wrap up. This is a cheap video, really, that I've done for Sex on Saturday because I really haven't had time to do it. I've got to make sure that I've got the other videos as ready as I can for the gig on Saturday that we're running behind the show.
Yes.
So I've done a cheap video. I've done one of those lyric videos,
Right.
which are quite quick to do. If you think they're rocket science, they're not. They're a cop-out, really, and that's what I've done. So we're going to leave you with...
Well, he's very modest. He's very modest.
We're going to leave you with the video of Sex on Saturday, and we'll see you all next week, which I think we are going to be doing probably Good Old Days of the Cold War, I think, next week. Something like that. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.
And,
Thank you all.
Yeah, and taking part in the
Well done,
competition.
Mr. Lovering. See you on Saturday.
See you on Saturday, yeah.
See you on Saturday. Oh, hang on, Digger.
Yeah. What's he
Cutie
say?
Bye from the land of the blue suburban skies.
Oh, I know who he is then. Blue Suburban Skies. Yeah, so the co-writer, well, this could have been a quiz question actually, but you probably all guess who it is. The co-writer of Magic Money Tree, This Is a New Low, End of an Era Feeling, Oppenheimer, and Prison Break. So there. That's who it is.
I see.
That's who it is.
I see.
Well, thank you so much for letting us know. There we are. I'm going to leave you with this. Oh, gosh. I'm still not doing it right. Okay. Open with. It's going to be great. Films and TV. Let's do that. See you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Sunday in Berlin and I'm driving back into town. Trying to beat the rush, got the vibe and the pedal down. Always on a Monday I'm feeling like a Frankenstein. Feed the big machine, compressor working overtime. On a Tuesday and I want to stick it to the man. I'm trying to toe the line but seems like nothing ever goes to plan. Wednesday at the gym, pumping iron like a meteor kid. Trying to stop from thinking, I'm not thinking about it than I did. She's my favorite girl in the world. All the time I'm dreaming about sex on Saturday. CB, yeah. Sex on Saturday. Tell the vicar go away. Sex on Saturday. Hey. Sex on Saturday.
can't you see? My state is serious.
Tell me, Fraulein,
Where are your clothes? Think I'm delirious.
Thursday I'm up early and I'm finding Friday on my mind. Finding Friday on my mind. After work I'm drinking and I'm thinking, going to drink myself a line. Thinking myself blind. Stumble into the office, only chaos and confusion I see. It's another messy morning, but it's nothing to what messy can be.